It's another installment of Making the Call on NBA TV. Joined, as always, with the Vice President of Referee Operations, Joe Borgia. Dennis Scott, I'm Jared Greenberg. It's everybody's favorite half hour of educational programming. Joe, thanks for coming back. I know Dennis and I have learned a whole lot since our last episode. What's unique about the game of basketball is played abroad. Everybody's playing the game now. And referees, as you did for so many years in the NBA, you have to adapt to a new style of the game. And just because you've never seen a play happen doesn't mean it's illegal. That is correct.
Obviously we've had a very large influx of European players come in who play a little bit different. We've had to make adjustments. But again, always go back to the fundamental, go back to the rule. For example, with traveling, our rule states when you end your dribble, if you have, let's say, your left foot on the floor when you end it, so you're gathering with your left foot, you're allowed 2 steps, meaning you're allowed a right-left. And sometimes with our players, being very long-legged and moving very fast, and now with the European players coming in and doing a little left-right while they're going forward, stick with the fundamental of gather, 1, 2. Let's take a look at this play here with Tony Parker. Okay, looks a little odd. Little odd.
That's why we call it the Euro step, because a lot of the European players know how to step right, avoid the defender, put the other foot down, and finish the play.
Correct. And this was, when it first came across the ocean, so to say, you see and go, ooh. But with videotape, you can slow it down like we do here. And you see he gathered the ball with his left foot. There's number 1. There's number 2. It doesn't matter that he sort of zigzagged when he did it, did a little left-right. You know what? It doesn't matter if he was going backwards. The fundamentals are when you end your dribble, catch a ball, that's the gather. The foot on the floor is 0. You're allowed 2 steps after it no matter what direction you are going.
All right, so the theme of the top of the show is traveling, and we talked about the Euro step there. I know something that you love watching, Dennis. The next one, though, is a little more interesting, Dennis, as we talk about traveling as you catch the basketball.
So some guys have to realize you got to catch the ball first before you take your steps. Right, Joe?
Yes, and here we're going to see a play where a player catches the ball in the air. Okay, so if you catch the ball in the air, the first foot to touch the floor is step 1,
right,
and then the next one is step 2. So we got a nice outlet pass here from Carmelo to Amari. Okay, he helps us out here because he takes some big steps, but there clearly he's in the air.
Yep.
Gonna come down. Here's number 1. And then we're going to come down with the right foot, number 2.
Oh, we got a little, I see it, Joe.
And now he has to avoid that defender, so he's actually forced to take a third
step. What are you telling your referees to keep their eye on in a play, in a bang-bang play like that?
Well, you're running down the court full speed on a fast break. You're looking at the defender. We have to pick up the defender to see if he gains a legal guarding position, as we talked in the last episode. So traveling is almost a thing of you get it with your peripheral vision down low. And there's a cadence to traveling. It's not like a referee can just watch the feet, because then we don't know where the defender is, the defender reaching. Very difficult play, and why it's actually missed a few times.
All right, let's get to our third example here with Courtney Lee, Joe.
Courtney Lee does something, again, 20 years ago we didn't see in the league. But when you end your dribble, gather the ball, you are not allowed to hop on the same foot. Okay? So whether you catch it, a pass, or whether you end your dribble, once you gather it, you can't go left, left, or right, right. So that's what Courtney does here.
Yeah, right there he kind of hopped and took 2 steps instead of hopping, maybe coming to a jump stop. Would that have been legal?
He could legally take the 1 step and then land simultaneous with both feet.
Correct.
But he cannot do what he does here, which is gather, go off his right foot, and then his right foot is clearly going to be the first foot to touch the floor after that. That makes that illegal and a traveling call.
And this crew that you had officiating the game got it right. They did exactly what you were looking for here.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect, Jared.
You guys are always perfect.
They work hard out there, Jared.
Let's go to another one, and another big guy getting involved here, Marcin Gortat.
Yeah, this is what we call like a face-up split-foot travel. Usually it happens on the perimeter with more of your guards. But here's an example of where a big gets it, turns and faces the basket. And if you know, when we see it in slow motion, you get a much better view. But once he establishes his pivot foot, which he does here, he'll establish his left foot as his pivot. He does a little drop step with his right foot, and then he picks the left foot up off the floor prior to releasing his dribble.
And you see more big guys do this, especially when they pop out. You see left foot going down. They're trying to use that pump fake, and I guess getting into his move, he forgot just that. Look, there's that left foot coming up. Yeah. You make that move, but I see more big guys do it more so than the guards.
And as a player, you're trying to sell it.
Oh, you're selling it hard. You're selling it hard, the pump fake. You're catching the ball. You know Tyson Chandler's a defensive player, so you're trying to make a quick move and see if Joe's awake.
And it's so quick. It happened, and you know as a player if you did it or not, but you just got to keep going and hopefully get away with it. All right, plenty more to come with Joe as we continue to take you through the game through the eyes of a referee. And coming up next, we'll examine goaltending. Oh, there's been a lot of those close calls lately, Joe.
Just a few.